Hey everybody, Steve here with Press by One. We're going to do the dreaded 30 roll challenge. Now I've already done it one direction. I did it from the shooting from the L1, L2ish area. This time I'm going to shoot from my more natural area, which is the R1, R2 area. What I'm going to do, I have my 30 dice all set up already with my initial dice set, which is going to be 3, 6, 3, 2. If I struggle with it, I will switch it out very quickly. While I'm doing this, I will be pulling the dice back in so you can see, but I'm also going to be throwing in a white chip for every number I hit, green chip if it's a hard way, red chip if I throw the bad number. So that way we can just kind of get an idea, a visual representation of how I'm doing. So here we go, let's do this, let's have some fun. First roll comes out. And it's a 3, 4, 7 right off the bat. That, my friends, is called a terrible beginning. But that's the way it is. So we'll throw a red out there quickly. Alright, try this again. There's the easy throw. 1, 4, 5. 1, 4, 5. Alright, it's a little bit better. 1, 4, 5. Stack it there. And we throw for the 5. Here we go. Next throw. That's a rhyme all the time. 5, 1, 6. 5, 1, 6. Usually I throw a whole bunch of those inside numbers. Oops, let's mark the 6. Of course, last time when I was throwing the other direction, I threw like freaking, it was like 6 11s, I think, 6 yos. It was a crazy number. 1, 5, 6. We'll take 1, 5, 6. Whoa, and that rolled to 2, 4, 6, but still, it would have been a 6 either way. 1, 5, 6. Next throw. We're using a Texas Casino dice right now. Weird throw, 6, 5, 11. That one kind of slipped out of my hand a little bit, lost concentration for a second. 6, 5, 11 though, it's right there. Now we're moving on to Sunset Station dice. Here in Vegas, another local Vegas casino. 6, 4, 10. My favorite casino by far is the Red Rock Casino in Far West. Whoops, let me mark the 10. In Far West Las Vegas, in the Summerlin area. That's my home casino. You're more than welcome. If you're going to come out this way, let me know. I am more than happy to join you. That was a 6, 3, 9. I love playing. Usually I get out, I'm one of those weirdos, I wake up early in the morning, and a lot of times I'll be at the casino at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, which is nice because it's 3, 2, 5, because when you go out in the morning, there's usually nobody at the table but you, which means you just get to throw, and you don't have to worry about, any random rollers, because it's you. And if you throw a bad number, you get right back on your horse, and you go again. So I enjoy it quite a bit. 6, 5, 11. Sometimes my wife and I will go in the late afternoon before dinner because it's not very crowded. And we like the crew that works at that time. That's a good group. There are multiple crews, of course, but there's more nice people in that group than I think some of the others. 4, 5, 9. 4, 5, 9. The 9 hits again. And we keep rolling. Now we're using dice from Atlantis. Dice from Atlantis. 1, 4, 5. These are my newest dice. Still getting interested in them. There's actually, I bought 30 of them. 15 are one size and 15 are slightly smaller. So I'm not overly happy except for like 15 I can't use, because they don't match any of my other dice. So that sucks. 5, 3, 8. So basically I have 65 dice that I like. And then I've got 15 more I don't. You know what I could do? I could actually just sell them. I could sell the extra 15. I hadn't thought about that. 3, 5, 8. Because they got a good deal on the 30. Yeah, let me do that. 3, 5, 8. All right, continuing to throw. A nice easy toss. 3, 2, 5. You know, there's really not a lot you can talk about during these type of challenges because, I mean, what do? You just throw and put the dice down. I'm one, you'll find me when I'm playing or even when I'm doing my videos. If I'm struggling with a dice set, if it's not hitting for me, man, I will change that dice set so quickly. It is not even funny. I am not married to a dice set. I see a lot of people, even me when I first started, I'm like, you know, darn it, this is a dice set I always use. It's gonna turn, it's gonna be good. You know what, sometimes, some days, the way the table's feeling, 617, the way the table's playing, the way your arm is throwing, your attitude, whatever it happens to be, sometimes it just isn't happening. Okay, so let's see, what did I just do? I did 10, 14, that was my 15th roll before I hit the 7. So I started with a 7, I went 15 rolls, I hit the 7 again. That ain't shabby. All right, let's see if we can keep this going though. So anyway, yeah, so move away from your dice set if needed. 2, 3, 5, didn't hit the back wall, they would have yelled at me. But that's okay, not the first time I've been yelled at. 2, 3, 5, it won't be the last time either, I'm sure. If you are really nice to the pit crew, to the table crew, they're not gonna get overly mad at you though. They'll give you grief, but you know they're not gonna go crazy. That was a hard 10. Hard 10. Haven't thrown, according to the table, I haven't thrown any hard ways until just now. That's an interesting one. Normally I do throw some hards, but certainly not looking like it today, huh? 6, 5, 11. 6, 5, 11. Another yo 11. It's our third one of those. We've had more 11s and we have 8. What are the odds of that? I guess we could talk a little bit about, speaking of 8s, if we get another 8. 8 says, oh yeah, I'll show you. Speaking of throwing and dice setting or dice influencing, when I first started playing craps, I didn't know if I bought into it. I'm like, how can you do it? But I'll tell you what, it's interesting. Especially during this lockdown, I've been throwing a ton and recording them. And literally, I've recorded probably, I've probably recorded 8,000 throws. Now, it's using different dice sets because I'm trying to figure out, I'll throw like 500 of a dice set, and then I'll switch to a different dice set to see how it goes. But what I have found consistently, 1, 3, 4, finally we hit the 4. What I have found consistently is that I throw a 7 somewhere around 10.5% of the time. Average should be closer to 17, right? And so after thousands of rolls, empirically, you know, there's got to be something to it. It's, you know, there's just got to be something to being able to influence the throw. Period. You're not going to convince me otherwise. That's too many rolls. Too many rolls. I would have expected to regress toward the mean. Now you might say, well, yeah, you throw another, 10 or 15,000, it's going to be, it's going to regress. And speaking of regressing, we just hit a 7, 4, 3, 7. So that's our third one. So we just threw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 before we hit. But anyway, I just feel confident. I feel, maybe it's all psychological. I don't know. But I feel that it does pretty good for me. It gets me, if I can get to, if I can do, 8 or 9 throws, if I can do 9 or 10 throws before hitting, we'll start a new line, before hitting the unlucky number, that's a lot of extra money that I'm making. A lot of extra money that's coming in. And that's a good thing. 6, 4, 10. Man, we hit a 4 earlier and I did not mark it. I know we hit that 4. There it is. I see it right there. 1, 3, 4. I think I was talking too much. Lord knows I talk a lot sometimes. There's 3, 6, that's 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 22, 23, 24, 25. So I am missing 1. I'm missing 1 somewhere. Well, that sucks. Alright, well that's okay. We'll figure that one out, I guess, or not. Next throw, we're on our final 4 throws. 5, 3, 8. 5, 3, 8. But now I'm kind of curious. What the heck did I miss? Who knows? 1, 5, 3, 8. We are not hitting any hard ways. That's for sure. No, we didn't miss a hard way. We might have missed all sorts of things, but we did not miss a hard way. 3, 2, 5. There's the 5. And final 2 rolls coming up. Final 2 rolls coming up. There's the throw. Oh, and speaking of hard ways, we get a hard way. Yay! Hard 8. Hard 8. And notice since I commented that we didn't hit many 8s, 8s have come back with a vengeance. And now here we are in the 30th row. And there it is. And it ends us with a 7. That is so funny. We ended the last one with a 7 also. So that's kind of funny. Now some of you who are against dice shooting, against dice setting, you're going, yeah, I thought you thought you could throw, 10. You know what? You take away that first 7 that I did, and the next 29 rolls, I had 3, so that's, just over 9 per throw if you take away that first 7. I know you can't do that, but still, let me put the 4th one out there. We still did really well. We had, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 8s. We had 4 6s. We had 5 9s. Sorry, 5 5s, 3 9s, 3 10s, 2 11s. So we actually did, we did pretty well. I think the one that we're missing, I thought I threw 1 3. But I'm scanning through the numbers real quickly and I'm not seeing a 3 anywhere. So if we look at just like betting, because I bet heavy at the beginning and I try to get 4 or 5 to begin and I just will press that first 4 or 5. So let's think about this one. And I also work on the come out. So that first 7 would have killed me. I would have lost real quickly, but that's okay because in the next round I would have hit 5, a 5, a 6, a repeater on the 6. That parlay would have been really valuable. 11 doesn't do anything for me. 10 doesn't do, it does a little bit, but not that big of a deal. I wouldn't count that as a hit. So I've done 3 hits. Then I throw a 9 and I throw another 5. So I would have had 2 repeaters on parlay. So that would have made me a bunch of money. And I would have pulled down back to a starting position. And then I wrote 11, wouldn't have done anything. 9, make money. 5, make money. 8, make money. 8 again. And that would have been parlayed. And that would have made a lot of money. Then I would have pulled down. And I would have ended with a 5 and a 6. That I would have been parlaying up. So I wouldn't have made any money there. But I would have had 2 good money-making rounds. Then we look at this next one. So I roll a 5. That's make good money. 10 doesn't make much. Don't count it. 11 didn't make anything. 8, good money, but not a repeater. 5, that's a repeater. So a parlay, that would have done well. That would have been my 3rd hit. 4 doesn't matter. 9 hits next. And I would have pulled down. And so I would have made good money. And I would have done on the next roll, I would have made a 7. Very happy that I came down. Last one, 8. That's cool. Make good money. 10, doesn't count. 8. So immediate repeater, immediately hit the point. And that's awesome. And then a 5 and an 8 and out. So that one would have been an interesting one because depending on my mood, I might not have come down, but that's 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit, 4 hits. And I probably would have been coming down. But you know what? I might have been a little bit cocky at that point, and I might have stayed up thinking I was going to go long. But regardless, I would have come down. I would have made money right there when I hit my point. So anyway, I would have made a lot of money on these rolls, even though I rolled 4 7s. I say to people over and over again, the number of sevens doesn't really matter necessarily. It's when do you throw them and what are you doing in between. Because if I can make a lot of money on a short roll, then that's a very good thing. So let's just look at this one right here where we had this last one. It was only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rolls, right? All right. So I always bet 50, 60, 60, 50. That's the inside. So the 8 would have paid me a quick 70 bucks. But I would have parlayed that. And so I would have had 50. No, I would have had 60 because it's an 8. I would have had 60. So now I've got the 70 on there. Then I would have, we're going to just put the money across like it really would have been. So that's how the money looks, right? And that's and I'm using these, so it's 9, 8, 6, 5. So I get paid on the 8, and I put a 10 because I could, because that's the point. I put it all behind the line. So I've got 100 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 130 behind the line, which I can have because I usually put $15 to $20 on the pass line, 10 times odds. So then I hit the 10. 10, sometimes I put money on it, sometimes I don't, so we'll pretend I don't. Then I hit the 8 again. So now the 8 hits, so this is going to pay me, let me see, I've got 100 and what did I say? So 100 is 20 units, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 26 times 7, so that would have paid me, what did I say? 26 times 7 is $140, $182. So I get paid $182. So we have $182. Now I would have put this back to 60. Well, that's not true. I would have put that back up to 90. And I would have upped the counterpart to 90 as well. So once I hit, I distribute and I bring money up. And I would have taken both the 9, the 5 and the 9 up to 100 each. I still have money to play with, which means I would have upped to 120. I would have upped to 120, and I've got $30 to play around with. I like 9 a lot, so I would have put 25 on 9. I would have put 5 on the 5. So next roll that hits is a 5, which pays, I've got 105, so it's going to pay 147. And so let's just grab out that 147 real quickly, 100, and here we're going to just throw, like we throw $3 in, so we get 150. I would just press it. Next roll is an 8. Now this is the 4th hit that I've had. So we had 1, 2, this one doesn't count, that was a 10, 2, 3, 4. So my 8 pays, I have 120, it pays 140. At this point, I am pulling down back to start. So I have 140, I pull it down back to start. All right. And so starting position, remember, was 50. It was 50. It was 60. 60. 50. So 4 rolls in, I'm back where I started, which is $220 invested. So I've got 200. Let's go ahead and get rid of that 220. So there's the original investment, okay? So now this is my winnings. So in the 4 rolls, I ended up with 100, 200, 300, oops, it fell off itself, $320. So yeah, and then I rolled a 7, so I would have lost, I would have lost this money. So it would have been out, but I already paid for it right there. So in other words, I only rolled 6 times, but I walked away with 320 bucks. It's not how long you roll, it's what you do with your roll. If you don't bet heavy, if you don't bet with confidence, you're not going to win money. If you bet small, you're going to win small. If you bet scared, you're not going to win at all. So anyway, there you go, little lesson. That's it. Done with the 30 roll challenge. See you next time, y'all. Steve from
Press by one. Adios, muchachos. Bye.